Hello everyone, this is Sangeetha, Assistant Professor, ECE Department, SNS College of Engineering. So today we are going to discuss about local histogram processing. So in the last video we discussed about histogram equalization and their types and histogram matching and histogram statistical data. So in this video let us discuss about local histogram processing and global histogram processing. First we will discuss what is local histogram and global histogram processing. So local histogram processing and global histogram processing are two different approaches in image enhancement that use the histogram of pixel intensities to adjust the contrast or brightness of an image. So the key difference lies in the scale at which the histogram is computed and applied. So first let us discuss global histogram processing. So the global histogram processing applies enhancement techniques based on the histogram of the entire image. So it treats all the pixels equally using a single histogram to determine how to adjust the pixel intensities across the entire image. For example, the most common global histogram technique where the histogram of the entire image is used to adjust the contrast. It redistributes the pixel intensities across the image to make the histogram more uniform, enhancing overall contrast. It is mainly suitable for images with uniform lighting conditions. So the main advantage of a global histogram are simple and efficient because it processes the entire image at once. It enhances the overall contrast of the image effectively if the lighting conditions are consistent. And speaking to disadvantage, in some cases global equalization may lead to over enhancement of certain regions, making them too bright or too dark. And global methods fail in images with non-uniform illumination. For example, an image with both bright and shadows areas. So since they cannot adapt to local variations. And speaking about local histogram processing, it is also known as adaptive histogram processing. It applies the enhancement technique based on the histograms computed for small local areas, or it is called windows or blocks of the data rather than for entire image. Each pixel is adjusted based on the histogram of the neighborhood around the image. So examples: adaptive histogram equalization, that is AHE. It enhances the contrast locally by computing the histogram for small regions of the image and applying equalization to each region. And contrast limited adaptive histogram equalization, that is CLAHE, a variation of AHE that limits the amount of contrast enhancement to prevent over enhancement, so which can introduce noise or artifact. So the main advantage of using local histogram processing is locally adaptive. That is, local processing works well in images with varying illumination conditions as it adjusts contrast in smaller areas independently. It enhances local details by focusing on smaller regions. Local histogram processing can enhance finer details that may be missed by global methods. And speaking about the disadvantages of a local histogram, since a histogram is computed for each local region, local histogram processing requires more computational power and it can be slower. And if not applied carefully, if it is not applied carefully, for example, if the local region is too smaller or larger, the local processing can introduce artifacts like blockiness or noise. So if we compare global and local histogram processing, so speaking about scope, the processes of the entire image based on a single histogram in global histogram, and processes local regions independently using local histograms. And speaking about computationally, global histogram processing are simpler and faster compared to local histogram processing. And speaking about effectiveness, it is good for images with uniform lighting and contrast for global histogram processing, and the local histogram processing best for images with varying lighting and contrast. And the global histogram processing is effective for images with uniform lighting condition. Consistent global contrast is used. The local histogram processing is useful for the images with non-uniform lighting. Example, an image with both bright areas and shadows and high details requirements in specific regions. So, if we conclude, the global histogram processing is fast and simple but may not work well on images with localized brightness or contrast variations. The local histogram processing is more adaptive and suitable for images but requires more processing time and can sometimes introduce the noise or artifacts. Hope this video will help you to understand the local and global histogram processing. Thank you.